Let's discuss. Hey everyone, it's Rachel back again with another reaction video, and today I will be checking out a new song from the Gloom in the Corner. It is called Ronin and features Ryo from Crystal Lake. With this single comes the announcement that they have signed to SharpTone Records, which is wonderful news. Congratulations to Gloom. They're a band that very much deserves to be signed. I can't remember if I've done anything on the channel, or if they've, if they've put anything out since I started up the channel. If they have, I've definitely covered it and talked about how much I love this band. They have a really awesome concept slash, if you like themes and concept albums and such, definitely jump into their discography because they have that going. It's very much what caught my interest about the band, but I've stayed interested for sure, and because of their sound. So I will link the video I'll be reacting to, as well as all of their social media, any pre-orders or merch. That's all in the description of this video. Other than that, I'm going to stop talking and we are going to get straight into it.
My favorite, the one that took his own life for his brother, without suffering gone, ignoring born not a man, but a warrior. Deadliest I was seen, shows why demons cower, desperado of hell's ways. This taste will be the death of those a person, the prostitution will never make the wake. I don't want to lose. Show you how God abandoned me. Before I died, I never knew how my demons work. Now I'm here, I get to suffer every time I die. I have no right to just stand. Now demons bow to you, don't they? Queer misanthropy.
The Gloom in the Corner, Ronin. Let's discuss. I'm very stoked for this album. I feel like I'm always stoked for a full album from any band that I enjoy, but with a band like Gloom, where there's a story involved as well, and there can be, like with a show or something where you're left on a cliffhanger or something, when you get singles from them, sometimes it sort of feels that way. With the way that they're also able to shift moods, I feel like it's really well... It's just shown very well through this track, because obviously you can tell from the video and such, even if you don't know like the full story and what's happened with the previous albums and such, from the video you can see that like there's fighting going on throughout all of it. The inclusion of like that oos and like in the video and such is just really clever, and like details like that with Gloom I enjoy. But beyond that, like the actual like the sound of like the switch between the fighting, like that's just included, like, you know, through that like the oos that I was talking about, and like throughout the video that you see, there's an obvious shift though in sound towards like the breakdown in the end of the song, where there's still fighting, but you can tell that like there's just an obvious shift in the mood. And I think it's like right before it says "they call me the Ronin," where this shift is really felt. Those vocals I was talking about are right before that as also. I loved that, and I feel like that's I hope that that's something that we'll see more of on the album, because it was like a secondary thing in this track. But with Gloom, if you go back and listen to their albums and some of the one-off tracks in them, you'll hear there's quite a few different sounds that they're able to get in, and although like their heavier tracks are my favorite, like Misanthropic is top tier, and it's so pissed. The vocals in that track are really what stick out to me, but they're a band that does a good job of matching that. Like I talk about it with Left to Suffer, I feel, with how angry Taylor's vocals can get and the instrumentals being able to match right up to that. Gloom is very similar in that regard, I would say. So I'm excited for that, but I also love when they switch up and go the more emotional route with some of the story. They do an excellent job of being able to shift their music with the mood of the story and such, I guess is really what I'm trying to say. Like if you're listening throughout the song, it's a very like a fast-paced, intense sort of song throughout the entire thing. You know, as soon as it drops and it goes into that first verse, you're getting sort of like the beat of it is really fast, which makes sense with where this is in the video, the story, and all of that. But it goes from like, a mission type of sound and like an intense sort of something being done sound to, I guess, from like pissed and on a mission to like battle sort of pissed would be a good way to describe the shift. So not only does Gloom have a great sound, and the Ryo feature as well, they do, I would expect with this band for them to work in a feature the way that this is done. Like I've talked pretty much on a lot of the features that I do overall on the channel. I talk about whether it's just sort of put in or it's worked within the song. When it comes to a band like this, I definitely expect it to be the way that this is worked into the song. It feels thought out, because like I'm mentioning with like the small details with them having a full story throughout, their albums and such, a band like that is going to put a lot of thought into most anything. So as expected, the feature is fantastic. The mixture of their voices too, that's a mixture that I really dig. I feel like I've seen a lot of features from Ryo, and some of them are where it's like, okay, he has a very distinct voice though, and I feel like this combination is probably one of my favorite features that I've seen him do so far. I wouldn't put it at the top of my Gloom songs list because of what I just mentioned to you. The intensity in Bleed You Out is another one of my favorite tracks, but yeah, so just very exciting, especially with Trinity upcoming. That's an October album. A great time, I feel like, for a Gloom in the Corner release, like right around Halloween and stuff. So those are my thoughts after one listen to the song. I will be doing some revisiting to this. I'll probably go back in the discography now as well, since this has come out. I'll be looking for any future singles. Let me know what you thought in the comments. All of the links for them, the pre-orders and such, will be in the description. Other than that, you can also find my link tree, which will have the invite for the Discord server that I talk about in every single video. We have a lot of music-related conversation, Last FM stats, new music conversations, listening parties, but also a lot of unrelated to music conversation as well, video games, pets, various different channels for different conversations. So if you're interested in coming to join, check out the community. That will be there, as well as my Instagram profile link. I do post all music related content on Instagram, sometimes on my story about new songs I found, or if I remember, or if I do it, new videos on YouTube and such, I'll post on my story. And then on my actual posts, I do a post every Friday of what I've listened to the most over the course of the week, a chart of my top 25 singles, EPs, albums, whatever I've been listening to. And then throughout the week, I'll usually post either merch, my never-ending merch collection. If I've been to a show recently and I have pictures, videos to share from that, I'll post that sort of stuff. So my handle on there is the same as my YouTube channel. It is Rachel Reacts, but again, it will be in that link tree if you have any interest in following me. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.